If you're ever in Good Neighbor looking for something to do, head over to Daisy and ask her if she has any work.
Believe what's in the is it food or not section.
Got any work?
I do, actually. Super mutants have taken over the old Boston Public Library. I got a lot of fond memories of that place from when I was a girl and human. You get those lumbering brutes out of there, I'll pay you 200 caps.
I don't think that's enough money to cover clearing out a whole building.
You got a good point. We'll make it 250 caps.
You got a deal, Daisy.
Thanks. Hey, while you're there, could you return this book for me? It's from the library. Don't even ask how long it's been overdue.
Now we begin public knowledge. Now once we arrive at the Boston Public Library, there are two ways of entry. Through Copley Station, or we can take a right and then go down to the left to the front entrance where we can talk to an intercom. When we approach the intercom, it says the library is closed. There's a couple of dialogue options we can pick, but for now we're going to go the library is closed.
The library is experiencing some technical difficulties. Please check our hotline for more details.
Matter of fact, I do have an appointment. Made it 200 years ago. Asshole.
I'm sorry, but there are no appointments scheduled for today. Please call and book an appointment for a later date. Thank you.
We can say we are employed to the intercom, then it asks for our ID number. We can pass a speech check to guess the ID number, which is surprisingly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, seriously,
1, 2, 3,
what were they
4,
thinking when coming up with
5,
this ID number?
6.
Welcome, Mr. Mayor. Please enjoy your visit. Mind the mess. We are currently undergoing maintenance.
Once we pass through into the library, we can walk forward where a bouquet of fragmentation grenades falls. Now, me being an idiot, I did not see them, so there's a heads up. We can go to the book return terminal where we can return Daisy's and any other overdue books we may have in our inventory at the time. Now this is the best place to meet, like that I use normally just because I don't really use any other overdue book terminals. I've never really used them in my Fallout gameplay. But you do get a copy of the Massachusetts Surgical Journal, which I think has around 50 tokens. Now I believe this is the only place you actually can get this copy, so yeah. Now at the time of filming, I didn't have enough tokens, but by looking around this place and a few other nearby locations, you actually can get enough overdue book tokens. If you go outside and go to the back of the Boston Public Library, you can find a Pulowski preservation shelter. We find 3 books and a skeleton inside. Didn't seem like the shelter protected the soul from the bombs. Heading back inside, we can explore the place. Going to the right of the entrance into a hole in the wall, we come across some supply cupboard. Maybe where we do find a skeleton. Maybe a janitor or someone trying to shelter themselves from the bombs. We find a toolbox. Going to the next room, we come across a hole in the floor where we can use it as a ramp to go to the bottom level. There's not much here, but a way to the courtyard where we can go up some steps to bring us to some room filled with some broken down terminals and some bookcases. We first find an AK on the wall, we find a skeleton in the wheelchair, which must have been maybe a man that was visiting during the day the bombs dropped, or maybe an employee of some sort. Going through the door on the right, we enter a room filled with protections patrolling the area, and a couple of turrets.
Well, this is certainly a friendly way to welcome people to a library.
We can go down a set of stairs where we do come across a couple of dead supermutants. We also come across an exit, but we will come back here later. Going up the stairs, we can take a left and go down the corridor and take another left to enter the girls' bathroom. We find a skeleton against the wall. We go into one of the stalls where we find a skeleton lying on the toilet, which, thankfully, has an overdue book in her hand. Going next door to the boys' bathroom, there's nothing here but a skeleton with a head in his toilet, and I took the moment to play a game. Kay kept getting my way, so I just gave up. I quit. I can't be bothered.
Yeah?
Going next door, we come across another room filled with cabinets, small wild caps and other gadgets. We find a chemistry station. That's really much it. There's not much there really. Going all the way back to the main entrance, we can then take a left into the massive room that we did not explore earlier. We see a pile of dead super mutants littering the floor. Tables flipped to be used as cover, some type of barricade. And we find a dead body, a man named Dalen. Now I do wonder how he died. Let's hope we do find out why. Now there is a terminal in the corner of the room named Curator Graves' terminal.
Not bad. Remind me to give you some pointers sometime.
Now we can't really read the terminal entries, which I think span around 3 months. It's getting more and more difficult, but we were able to get a hold of a few more books today. While I was scanning them in, I overheard Dalen telling Shelby that we should just compress the archives now and get the hell out of here. I thought about smacking him upside the head, but I don't blame him for wanting to cut and run. It's been tough. We've lost so many, but it's all worth it, right? I mean, if we don't protect the knowledge stored in these machines, who will? I told them they could leave whenever they wanted to. I'm not going to force them to stay. I told them they could leave whenever they wanted to. I'm not going to force them to stay. If they don't believe in what we're doing here, then it's better if they just get out of our way. If we don't collect everything, then what's the point? We lost a few more, including Shelby. She'll be missed, but I know she wouldn't have had it any other way. What we're doing here is important. There are still a lot of books left. This knowledge will help our future generations. It's up to us to keep on pressing on. I can't keep the bots repaired anymore. The mutants are hitting us at least once a day. Unless we get help, it's only a matter of time before they wipe us out completely. This may be the last log I write. If it is, all I ask is that the person reading this does the right thing. Help us protect the information stored in these computers in the data room. The key in the storage room is right behind this terminal. There are some supplies you may find useful there. Please, only use them if you're going to further our cause. Once we read the terminal entries and we exit the terminal, we hear a voice in the PA system. All of a sudden, supermutants attack. Now this is going to be a tricky fight, so be prepared. We find maybe 20 odd supermutants, something like that, and you think for a high level character like me, it might be quite hard, although it was one of the more harder fights I've experienced recently. Now, in this encounter, Bethesda probably intentionally made it that they would just carry pipe weapons and some boards, nothing really high-tech like laser rifles or assault rifles or anything. So, at least they're thinking of maybe people that might come here at lower levels. Now, we find out there are 3 of people here. Now, it does mention there are more, but the 3 main people are mentioned. We have Curator Graves, Dalen, and Shelby. They more or less came here to try and gather all the pre-worked history and some other things, maybe like medical books and some, like how we do find a surgical magazine in the overdue book terminal, and maybe just a couple of other things to help out the generations to come. But some talked about leaving, but they clearly didn't, as we learned the supermutants had started attacking more pretty much every day. And they got, Shelby got killed eventually. Now when we come across the place, we see there's clearly been a fight with dead super mutants, and obviously we come across Dalen being killed, but we've yet to find Graves. Now if we didn't pick up the key due to the super mutants attacking, we can go back to the terminal and pick up the key. And once we pick up the key and go back to the back room, we see Curator Graves lying on the floor, lifeless. He's dead. He doesn't have much on his body, really, just some leather armor, a weapon or two, some caps, basically randomized loot on a character. On the right of his body, we do find the storeroom that the terminal talked about. Once we open it, we find a whole stash of gear, ammo boxes, first aid kits, duffel bags, some food, and an end of dungeon steamer trunk with randomized generated gear. We can head down to where all the terminals are located to only find an intelligence bobblehead. Your intelligence has been permanently increased by 1. Now, he said in the terminal that we can use the supplies in the back if we intend to continue as cause, but what cause? Of course, the preservation of old history, etc. But there's no terminal just here for that specific thing, you know? There's only some broken down terminals, but I don't know why Bethesda have done this, but if you have a jetpack, you can basically take a couple chems, jetpack up through the skylight, and down it when you can find a terminal which you have to quickly just make sure you click E or whatever button is on console you're playing on, and you should be able to activate the terminal. Now, I don't have a jetpack on my current power armor, so I have to use console commands. Doing so, we go through and we can activate the console. Now, the terminal allows us to copy the archives onto a holotape, but once done that, there's nothing else, you know? With it obviously being outside of the room, it could have been a last minute decision for Bethesda to cancel it, and they, instead of just removing it from the game, they just moved it outside of, I guess, the cell, you know, outside the room. Now to explore Copley Station. Go back to where we first find the turrets and Protectrons, and we might possibly see some super mutants, depending on who won the fight between them and the super mutants. Once dealing with them, we can move down. The first room has a few things we can loot. Just a Nuka-Cola vending machine. Sadly, no Nuka-Cola. We can head down a set of stairs and we come across the super mutants. Now, be careful, I did forget there was a suicider and he did damage me quite a bit, taking out one of my arms of power armor and damaging 2 bits of my power armor. So watch your HP, obviously, if you're a younger level coming here. Once dealing with the super mutants, we can now loot the place. We find a first aid kit on the wall and a Vault-Tec lunchbox and a baby stroller, which I forgot myself a nice little ice cold Nuka Quantum. We can take a look into one of the storage trains where we do find 2 skeletons and a suitcase. Exit the cart to go to the half-tipped cart where we find more skeletons, some suitcases and a duffel bag. We can exit this cart to go into the next. We find 2 dead traitors. We do find a chem station, some chem boxes, that's really it, there's nothing really here.
He's playing tricks on me again.
We can go back to the main area and we can go up a set of stairs, and if we did hear the Superman talking earlier like I did when I was in the trader's little place, we can go find him and kill him. Once he's dead, you can loot the stash of caps in the urinal. There's a bloody bag in one of the stalls. Yeah. Traditional super mutant activity. Now we can leave Copley Station and return to Daisy to hand in the quest. Once traveling back to Goodname, we can talk to Daisy and tell her we were indeed successful.
Hey, Daisy.
You're back. How'd it go at the library? Get rid of those super mutants.
I managed to fight my way through the library. Oh, and I dropped off that book of yours.
Only 200 years past due. I know it was an odd request, but thanks for making the library a safer place. We gotta keep some old buildings sacred, you know. Here's your money.
And we've completed public knowledge. So yeah guys, this is my first ever Fallout 4 lore video, hopefully many to come in the near future. I am working on a couple at the moment, so hopefully they'll be up shortly. You know, I just need to play a bit more. I've been slacking on my Fallout 4 game, to be honest. But we'll get that finished and dusted with very shortly. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It does show your support and does make me want to do more of this, you know, different type of videos and that. Comment down below any video suggestions you may have. I want to expand and try to find something I want to do. You know, this is a bit of a test, really. I'm looking to do a lot more other types of videos. I've got a couple of ideas in my head right now. But yeah, also subscribe if you're new, and if you want to get a notification whenever I upload, hit that notification bell and you get a notification on emails on your phone whenever I upload a video. So yeah guys, I hope you did enjoy your time watching this video, and I hope you did love the video. I did put a lot of time and effort into this. Obviously there's a lot more to improve on, you know, there's a bit of improvement needed, but yeah, hope you all have a great rest of your day.